Welcome everybody to Ecophysiotherapy Presents Health, Wellness, and Lifestyle. My name is Madeline Golick and I'm a pelvic health physiotherapist here at Ecophysiotherapy. I'm also the owner of Ecophysiotherapy. Today my guest is Brkovic, registered massage therapist. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
But before we get started with the interview, I just want to remind you that this video is pre-recorded, but if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to message us in the chat box. Anyway, so without further ado, Vuk, I'm super excited to be interviewing you today because I think our topic about massage therapy is going to be really interesting. But I thought before we talk about that, can you tell us a little bit more about you?
I've been in health profession pretty much since high school. I finished massage therapy here in Canada, and I'm very proud that I did my massage therapy here because I think I really learned about doing massage. That I had a course before back home, but it wasn't as deep as it, like what I learned here in Canada was like more.
Right. So what were you taking back home? Like you mentioned you were studying, so what were you studying back home?
It was a physiotherapy course that I took in high school, which was a little bit different than here. Like back home you could start, specialize even when you're in high school. So I went to a medical high school, took physiotherapy course and wanted to be a physiotherapist and continue after the high school.
Awesome. So where is back home for those of those listening that don't know where you're from?
Yeah, I'm coming from former Yugoslavia. Now, I pretty much spent before I came to Canada, I was living in Serbia, which is part of Yugoslavia.
Awesome. So when did you come to Canada?
I came in 95.
Okay.
I was about 22 years old.
Oh, wow. That must have been a big change.
Oh, yes, it was, yeah. Very little English. I had to start learning everything from beginning, and it was...
a challenge, but nonetheless, you made it through, and not only that, you made it through a medical type program, which is pretty amazing. How long is the massage therapy training?
In Canada?
Yeah.
It's 2-year full program, full time. I believe it's 2,200 working hours under somebody's supervision before you can get the license. And of course, you have to, after finishing diploma, you have to do your license exam. So,
yes.
For some people, it was a little challenging after finishing school.
I remember, certainly, physiotherapy, we have the same thing, written, then a practical exam, and it's the practical exam that, I felt like I was going to pass out before starting, right? Because you have a very limited amount of time, and then you have to, perform whatever the question's asking you to do in such a short period of time. But I assume you similarly have to go through something like that for massage as well. Okay, what I wanted to maybe, find out is any particular reason why you chose massage therapy when you got here?
I was working at the physio clinic, and one day somebody came looking for a part-time job, and we started talking. I was interviewing him, and he told me that he was going to massage college, and it was like close by the clinic. That's why he came to look for. And I asked him, about school, and he said, come over. I went to look for him. He wasn't there, but there was some guy who came and started asking me questions, and I didn't know at that time they were opening a new class.
Oh, okay.
And I actually started my program from January, not from September. But I went to school weekends. It was some kind of fast program. First year, the second year was regular for me, but it worked for in my schedule because I didn't want to give up my work. I couldn't, but at the same time, I was going to school evening. It was a little challenging, but that's how I started. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't I might do something else, but
So
I always
you kind of
wanted.
stumbled.
Yeah, but I
into
wanted.
it.
I
Yeah.
wanted massage therapy. I was at the physio. I was always involved in clinical work. That's why I didn't want to work for spa or anywhere else. Clinic. It's where I really belong. That's where I want to do my work.
And it's interesting that you bring up spa because I wanted to ask you a question kind of about, because there is massage therapy that's being offered in in a spa setting. And so how is like a spa massage maybe different from a therapeutic massage?
Oh, I think it's a big difference. Like people come to spa, they just want to relax. They usually don't have problems. Like when they have problems, they go to the clinic, and they come to us and they said, "Okay, I have this. Can you help me?" But I don't think that doesn't happen at the spa because people go because of nice environment, because they do. They want to relax, or so the massage therapist working at the spa, I don't think they really focus on any problems. They just do general massage. That's how it looks like to me.
Right. So in a therapeutic setting, where you're looking at injury, you're thinking about
you're
what
focusing
muscle.
on the problem. You're focusing on the problem. People ask you questions. You should be able to answer maybe some of them.
Right.
If it's not all of them.
Yeah.
So they're expecting you to have certain knowledge.
Right.
About
okay, that's a good point. So then I thought maybe kind of just to help people understand a little bit more about what some of the benefits of massage therapy. So what kind of benefits can somebody expect to receive from having a massage?
Mm-hmm. The first thing that comes to my mind is restrictions. We all have, because of posture or previous injuries, there might be some restrictions in the body movements, and for the body to function properly, we need to move all the parts without any restrictions, and I think that massage helps the best because people can do that by exercising, but sometimes it's easier for you to lie down on the massage table and somebody does that for you and you feel like you've been exercised. And we stretch the muscles, we release the tension from the tissue, not just muscles, but the fascia, underlying layer of the skin. Also restrictions in tendons or soft tissue, ligaments. Ligaments not so much, but the tendons,
Yeah.
And sometimes joints, like we do joint play.
Okay.
We're not that deep into it, like we don't do distractions of the joints like the chiropractors, but we can, move the joints and work with that with the joint play.
Yeah, so basically freeing up movement
Yes.
in a joint, whether it's by addressing the muscle or the fascia, or even maybe a bit of joint capsule.
Also, I forgot to mention, everybody knows increasing the circulation, but also lymph flow as well. A lot of people don't know, but this is very important when somebody has injury. When somebody comes with a swelling or, you want to improve the lymph flow. Yeah. And it doesn't seem like much when they come and you just touch them a little bit and you do some rhythmical movement, but they come to me later and they said, but my swelling is gone.
Yeah. Well, because our circulatory system, like our blood flow, has the heart to kind of pump that fluid through, but our lymphatic system doesn't actually, it doesn't have a pump. It relies on muscle contraction, as well as, stimulating the system to move that fluid. So so that can certainly be very helpful in swelling. So I wanted to, I've been asking everybody this question because, we are a health and wellness show. So I wanted to maybe understand from your perspective, what do you think are some keys to living a healthy and happy life? Like, what are some things you do for yourself to maintain, wellness?
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is like physical exercise and physical, but also like you have to look at the mental, you have to be healthy mentally as well as physically. So what helps me to stay, first mentally, be positive, like what you're doing. Sometimes you have to find motivation. Sometimes there is a lack of motivation, and you have to tell yourself, do something to motivate yourself to, we live in a very stressful life. Like we're all busy. I see people around, running, doing. And sometimes we need to slow down. Sometimes we have to, Despacito, that song that everybody's singing these days. It's just telling that slow down. Go easy.
Which one? Despacito?
Yeah, the one that it's very popular.
Yeah.
So. I think the key is like, if you're mentally okay, then you can work physically, or if you're physically okay, then, you turn to like work on your mental side. But I think you need both sides to,
I think
have
you're right.
some kind of balance.
Yeah, I think, we value, physical activity and eating right, which those are all very important things. Sometimes we don't put as much value into sort of our own mental self-development, right? Finding that balance between rest and activity and, kind of taking a break from our endless to-do lists. Because I know I have to-do lists, and the second I finish one list, I got another one going. So it can be very mentally draining to kind of keep going at all cylinders. So I think I think those are some really great concepts to highlight. I wanted to finally ask you a question about, I want you to think of somebody who's just thinking about getting healthy. Maybe they're thinking about starting a diet, or maybe they are going to start some sort of physical activity. Any success tips that you would give, like that you've sort of learned from your own life, being physically active or playing sports? Anything that's kind of helped you stay motivated?
I find my motivation, being healthy, it's very important to everybody. And if you have any health issues, then you feel like you're in trouble, everything's difficult for you. And I think eating right, also detoxing your body. I think it helped me at one point when I was younger and I did detox. It changed my life, but also diet as well. Like, I used to eat everything, and then you realize that some food doesn't agree with you. Like, you're eating and you're not feeling well after, and you should stop. Sometimes we have allergies, we don't know about it.
So what keeps you from eating those foods? You know what I mean? Because sometimes you're tempted, right? Yes,
but you also, those foods are usually addictive. And sometimes it comes from the companies that make food. They purposely put some substances there to make you addicted to a certain food. And if I see I'm eating something too much, my body is craving, I try to stop. I try to go away, say, okay, I'll try that next time, and forget about that. Otherwise, you just keep, you're just getting more and more into. It's like medication. Once you start getting used to it, you just increase the dosage. And when I was younger, I used to love Coca Cola, for example. I used to drink a lot, and I stopped. And I realized that, I don't have to have it, not even once a year. It's been many years now I haven't touched it.
But it must have been challenging in the beginning.
It's challenging because you get used to. You go to the store and you see it, and you want to grab for it, and then sometimes you say, oh, I haven't had it in a while. Let me try it. But then once you try again, you just keep taking it, and you don't want to take because, especially in some products, there is nothing valuable to you. And
Right.
it could be very harmful to you.
So you kind of just try to distract yourself, or try to say maybe next time, or like you sort of
you delay.
try to thank you, that was the word. I was like trying to stretch out the time in between. Did you reach a certain point where you stopped craving Coca Cola? Like, was there a certain tipping point where it was like, meh, I don't really need it?
Yes, it was a long time ago. I cannot remember. I cannot recall right now what I just stopped. I realized it's not good for me. I don't want to, and once in a while I had that thought. Oh, maybe I should just see how it tastes. And I was like, oh no, and then you forget. It's just a moment that you just gets into your thoughts and. But there's so many. I mean, some people are addicted to ice cream. Some people are, and it's fine too. But when you see like you're consuming something too much, then it's time to
take a break and evaluate. Yeah. Interesting. Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit more information about massage and kind of sharing some of your little health tips to the audience. And, I look forward to having you on the show again. And guys, remember, I will have contact details available at the end of the show and in the description. So thank you, Vuk, for coming and doing the show.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye, guys.